this is a very new podcast that I'm doing. It's Joe on relationships. Um, Now, in this first inaugural episode, I want to discuss a little bit about online dating and if you get somebody from a foreign country. I know this is a popular topic, and let's just say if you get advice from a friend who's saying you're stupid for doing it and you shouldn't pursue it, well, you might not like the advice and you may rebel and do it anyway. That is why I am discussing about catfishing. I remember, if you heard my string of podcasts, or if you heard my podcast that I did in the Poconos trip in 2016, I said, "Oh, love is so grand. You gotta have passion. You gotta be whatever." That is all true, but you can't be. You've got to think ahead before you do things, especially when it comes to catfishing. So if you are talking to somebody who claims to be a woman online and they are from a foreign country, and I'm not going to say which country, and they say, "Oh, we need money. I need a phone. I need to pay rent. I need to do this." You need to look and you need to ask yourself a question. Is this person gonna actually see you, or are they gonna pressure you into giving you the money to guilt trip you? If they're guilt tripping you, you know what? Cut them out immediately. If they're trying to get information out of you, cut them out immediately. And I've learned from my mistakes. I don't have to go into detail about it, but I will say this. You want to cut them out immediately, like anything. Like, you wonder if what you could trust, what you can't trust. I mean, when it's something like that and they're catfishing you, it's not good. I should have listened to my friend's advice who said I would be stupid if I wasn't, because I'll tell you, you don't want to feel like you're dumb. But when you did it anyway, and you didn't learn from that friend, this is not good. You feel it. And deep down inside, everybody realizes it. And you may think that, and you may feel it, and it's just not a good feeling. Because you know that that's what they think that you are. I mean, not to mention the money that you would have lost. I mean, just think. That is money that would have been spent on your debt, not to mention an apartment, not to mention your living expenses, not to mention it would set you up for something real that would be good. And not to mention, just as much as you lost that, there's no guarantee that you're getting that money back. So it's a matter of, they'll get you, and they'll get a rise at you. And the worst, they'll take your dignity away from you, because you'll be so angry, so hostile at the end of it, it's not even funny, and you're not going to trust, and then you lose, and you lose, and you lose, and you have nothing to show for it. Did that person come? No. But I got this. Doesn't matter. Were you feeling like crap at the end of it? Were you feeling like, you were complete shit? And you go through denial that, you should have lost, you should have learned, you should have listened to your friend, you should have listened to your family member, you should have, you know what? Too much should haves equal to what I and many other people went through. And that's, you're supporting somebody else, but you're not helping your real self. And then what happens if you do meet somebody that you want to take care of and you can't? What happens if you're a guy and you finally meet a woman, and remember, this is after you're catfished and you don't realize it, and then let's just say you meet a woman and you get her pregnant. Then what? It's another story in itself. You don't have money for the diapers. You don't have money for the crib. You don't have money for this. You don't have money for that. You're working nail, tooth, and nail just off the money that you blown. We're not gonna mention the manic. We're just mentioning what happens with catfishing. So I just gotta say, it's just a tip. You gotta be careful of those online scams. They're too good to be true. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is it, whatever. I was like, this is good. This is great. You gotta have passion. True. You do have to have passion. I'm not denying that. But there's a degree. You gotta interlove with your instinct intact. Some would say, I have not made sound choices. Some, I agree, especially with the whole catfishing, but some, I disagree. Because I may have had friends persuade me differently because of their own interests at heart. But that's how it was. We're not dealing with friends because, sometimes friends can be not so much friends in a situation. Sometimes friends can be friends, sometimes friends cannot. I mean, for example, I'm gonna use this for example. I'll use a soap opera. Bold and the Beautiful. Liam's cheating on Steffi. They had to mention to Finn. They had to mention to Hope. It's just a mess. But this is what happens, And then you feel guilty and everything else. You beat yourself up. It's like, how do you recover from that? Well, it's just how it is. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. You're biting time, but that's, betrayal and trust. And this is one thing I will discuss on this podcast. Trust and honorability and loyalty. Should you be loyal when the other friend isn't? And they haven't in the past. So that's one thing you have to ask. It's like, and then I'm going to discuss friend stuff too, because, when you have, I'm going to use soap operas as an example, when you have other friends who betrayed your trust in the beginning stages, are you going to be honorable and respect their trust later? Or are you going to work on it? Hey, it's just a matter. Because once that trust is gone, I don't know. But, I don't know. It's topics like this. People may get offended, and I know. I definitely should have taken that advice. I would have been better off today. But I was like, I want to learn from my own mistakes. Yeah. I learned to write. I don't have that money right now. That money is gone. Long gone. And I started new again. So, do I want to learn from my mistakes? Yeah. If I had to tell myself, would I go through it again? Well, you know what? Sometimes God knows what's good for you. Because if I hadn't taken the wrong mistakes that I would have done, I would have not been where I am today. And have I taken the good mistakes, or the good things that I did, would I have been in the same situation I am today? Some may see it as that I complained and I did whatever. But you know what? Today, I'm content and I'm happy. It wasn't like that all the time. But it's a matter of perspective. That is something that I'm going to discuss in this podcast's perspective. Because relationships are what drive us. Relationships are what make us or break us. Relationships are something that we live with the rest of our lives or not. Because a matter of thought that we have that could be self-defeating or that could be comforting. What keeps us strong as an individual or what doesn't. This is Joe on relationships. Please check me out on my Patreon page at patreon.com/the Joseph Vivaldi Network, and the other, http://www. You know that already, so I don't have to do whatever, but just at the end of patreon.com/the Joseph Vivaldi Network, you gotta catch it there. You're gonna check out One Main Financial. One Main Financial is a place where you go get your debt. I had a debt that needed to be taken care of. They helped out a little bit. I need to pay them back, and I still am. And just mention Joseph Vivaldi or the Joseph Vivaldi Network sent you, and they will be gladly to help you out. Also, check out the Joe's Writers Club. They are very helpful with writing, workshopping, and blogging, and amongst many other things. They're busy now. I'm sure if you lend your service as a writer, they will be glad to help. I know they could use it right now. So, even if you are there to be workshopping or blogging or stuff like that, I don't know. So, go check out Joe's Writers Club on joeswritersclub.com or joeswriters.club. Check it out and have a very good and blessed day or night whenever this podcast airs on Patreon and also Spreaker.